Thank you, Speaker. Today I rise to acknowledge the rise of antisocial behaviour, shoplifting, dangerous e-bike riding in the Pittwater electorate that really is infringing on residents' rights to enjoy their space. And I want to say this, I recently went to the Have Your Say Day run by Council, listening to the youth in our electorate and more broadly on the Northern Beaches, and to hear their voice and issues that are important to them. And to acknowledge that the majority of kids, of which we have, 22,000 of them or something like in thereabouts, are amazing and great contributors to our community. But there is no doubt that there is a rise in antisocial behaviour and the community is feeling it. So some of the incidents that I'm talking about have been widely publicised on social media groups. One in particular are raids in bottle shops where groups of youths are coming in, faces partially covered, stealing alcohol and then resisting having doors closed and forcing their way out of the shop. It's happened in my electorate, in Mona Vale, it's happened more broadly around the Northern Beaches, and of course it's happening across New South Wales, which I also acknowledge. But there's also other antisocial behaviour that's happening, particularly on e-bikes around netball courts as well. We've got to a stage at some of the netball courts and pickleball courts where people who are renting the courts, and often with children there, are having to share that space with e-bike riders who are coming through at speeds of up to 50 kilometres an hour, disrupting games. And it's a particular concern when we're talking about 7-year-old girls who are training for netball, having to put up with this intimidating behaviour, and sometimes coaches as young as 14 coaching these girls, having to deal with gangs of e-bike riders, who themselves are fairly young as well. The behaviour is obnoxious, often calling people names, calling people pedophiles, calling people, using swear words and being intimidating. And whilst I know, given the age group of some of these kids, they probably don't understand and appreciate some of the intimidation they're causing, the intimidation is real. It's also happening at supermarkets. I visited supermarkets from Narrabeen to Mona Vale to Avalon, and I can tell you there is a consistent theme of supermarket workers feeling unsafe because people are shoplifting at a prolific rate. And this is particularly young people as well. And whilst they are told for work health and safety that they shouldn't intervene, and I understand and appreciate that, by even just witnessing prolific shoplifting and not having the ability to do anything about it, or even worse in some cases, the use of, say, baby oil or other, detergent or other lubricant just blatantly being spilt down the aisles, is really a lot for workers to cope with. I've contacted head office of major supermarkets, including Woolworths, drawing them to the attention of the fact that their workers, some workers, don't feel safe and are having to put up with a lot. I want them to do more. You can't expect workers to be, keystroking every entry of every shoplift that occurs before them. And so I don't think maybe the data reflects what's actually occurring on the ground. I've asked for Woolworths to put security guards at the front door. I know there are security guards that they can put on with body-worn camera, and I think that will really go a long way to setting the standard of what my electorate expects. Of course, parenting plays a role, and we can't legislate for parenting, although I do acknowledge in Queensland legislation around e-bikes has included provisions to keep parents accountable as well in certain circumstances. But really we need a community response to this. I want to thank the police, particularly the local area command, who have attended community forums with me and who have acknowledged and said that they will be updating their operations in order to address some of these issues. They've also publicly issued a statement saying they're targeting kids throwing missiles at cars, as well as some of the other issues I mentioned, particularly around bottle shops. I want to also thank community groups who have really stepped up. So particularly Avalon Bulldogs, who put out a statement saying that if anyone from their club is found to have engaged in this behaviour, irrespective of whether they're wearing uniform or not, they will not be a member of the club. It really saddens me, but at the same time, we live in an amazing community, and I think the position that people have got to now is just feeling, and Dan Finch is one person I want to mention because he put it on social media and it got over 1,000 likes and about 300 comments. And he said, words to the effect of, living in a community like Pittwater brings significant rights, but it also demands equal obligations. The right to enjoy public space does not include the right to intimidate retail workers, disrupt paid bookings, or run local businesses into the ground. We all deserve respect. I'm working with police and community groups and relevant ministers to make sure that happens in my electorate.
Thank you very much.